Twists and turns. Hi, I'm Xenia Papandreou. Does what I do define me? Does what I do make me happy? Does what I do resonate with what I want to create in my life? I run a holiday camp for children. As I was writing my icebreaker, I realized that my life, your lives, is just a series of twists and turns with ups and downs, bringing unexpected gains and losses along the way. Instead of clinging desperately to the idea of what do we want to be when we grow up, I've learned just to accept and go with the flow, and just watch and see what happens when we get to the end of the rabbit hole. Twist and turn number one. Born in London to Cypriot parents, I have two younger sisters, so I am the oldest and wisest in the family. I spent my primary and secondary school in education in Barbican and Tunbridge Wells. Apart from 1984, where I spent 1 year at the English school in Nicosia. I was 14, a very formative year, and a very ethereal year. Why? Because the English school had boys. Right. Yes. I actually met my husband to be there during that 1 year. So how different would my life have been if my parents had not dragged me kicking and screaming from London? Twist and turn number two. I graduated in psychology from City University, and I had big plans to continue my studies and become an organizational psychologist. I was hired for the summer by the European Bank for the Reconstruction and Development, and once I started earning my own cash, I found it very, very difficult to go back and resume my studies. So I stayed at the bank for 12 years and followed an amazing career in portfolio management. How different my life would have been if I hadn't applied for that temporary summer job. Twist and turn number three. I had my son in 2001, and things changed. I changed. Life changed. I wasn't wowed with the London life anymore and with the rat race. I didn't feel fulfilled with the weekly travelling that I had to do for work and with the rushing around trying to fit everything in. I felt I was missing out on motherhood, so we decided to move to Cyprus in 2005, to the village, to Dirobitis, to my mom, to my in-laws, to my sisters, to no commuting, to very little stress, to no horizontal rain waiting for trains, to a lot more time. I opened my first business, an English-speaking football academy for young children. We had a lot of fun. So I learned how to run a business, how to employ staff, how to motivate staff, how to keep staff and let staff go, how to motivate children. And we had a lot of fun traveling around Cyprus, playing football games around the country. How different my life would have been if I'd chosen to stay in the UK. Twist and turn number four. I live in Lecce with two gorgeous dogs from the shelter and my now 14-year-old son. And my husband is currently working in Kazakhstan. I could have never imagined a time where we would have been apart, living apart, but actually it's made us grow closer together. The temporary separation has actually reminded us of why we fell in love in the first place, and things that we took for granted when we were living under the same roof. How different my life would have been if you hadn't accepted the job in Kazakhstan. So I spent my time creating programs for my holiday camp and developing my teenager workshops, which will be launched later this year. I love green smoothies with lots of algae, especially chlorella. I learned to love running in the great outdoors, not on a treadmill. I started my Ashtanga yoga journey a few years ago, Andreas knows, and I'm always surprised at how long that journey has yet to go. I love going to conferences, and I'm an active member of TED in Nicosia. I love going to workshops, short mini workshops, to increase my knowledge. I went on a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu course recently for women's self-defense, which was a lot of fun. I did an amazing first aid course. I learned how to make cacao with a shaman. an emotional intelligence course, and now I'm proudly embarking on my ToastMasters journey. In conclusion, I highly encourage other people to do lots of things, to become what a lovely TEDx speaker once said, become a multi-potentialite, not having one true calling. It's fun, it makes you a rapid learner, and it makes you more adaptable. I say to you, embrace your twists and turns. Keep writing and rewriting your story, never clinging on to the premise that you have one true calling. Because you never know which rabbit hole the next twist and turn might lead you to. Thank you.